If your GPA is sitting below 3.5, for example, we gotta talk. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. Your GPA is the #1 factor in your college application. No, it's not the only thing that gets you in, obviously, but let's get this one thing very clear. It will be the reason you even get considered in the first place, because if your stats don't make the initial cut, no one's even reading your essays. That sounds harsh, but it's the reality of college admissions. And in case you're wondering who I am, my name is Shinwoo Lee, and I run Inspire Consulting, where we work with students to help them get into their dream schools. Our recent results are Caltech for physics, UNC Chapel Hill for computer science, and MIT for chemical engineering. So when I tell you that this matters, I'm telling you from my team of admissions counselors with over 20 years of experience has seen, worked, and coached firsthand. Now, that doesn't mean you're screwed, but it does mean you need to stop lying to yourself. Because frankly, your GPA matters, and it matters a lot. And no, just because you saw someone on Reddit, for example, get into Stanford with a 3.2 GPA doesn't mean that's your story too. That's the exception, not the game plan. So if you're sitting there thinking and telling yourself, I'll just explain it in my essay, or they'll see how much I've grown, you're not strategizing, you're just coping. So you need to stop hoping and start executing. Because here's the truth, a low GPA doesn't have to end your chances, but it will, guaranteed, if you don't take the right steps starting now. So the question is, what are you gonna do about it? So let's talk about the actual comeback itself, because yes, you can come back from a GPA under 3.5, but only if you start moving with purpose. If you're in freshman or sophomore year, you have time, but you can't waste it pretending that playing it safe is the smart move. You need to start pushing yourself. And I'm not saying to blindly throw yourself out there to the hardest classes just to flex, right? I'm saying to be honest with yourself. You know, when students say, I can't take AP physics, the teacher just sucks, or I'm not good at that subject, oh, okay, but ask yourself truly, if you actually put in the time and the effort, could you get an A in that class? Right? Just genuinely asking yourself. And if the answer is yes, then take the damn class, because this isn't the time to play scared. That's how you grow. But if the answer is no, that's fine too. It's not about ego, right? I'd rather see you get an A in a regular class than a C in an AP class just to look impressive. Because guess what? A C drags your GPA down, and admissions officers don't give you bonus points for trying hard and completely failing. Now, if your target is the Ivy League or top 20 schools, then yeah, the expectation is pretty simple. Take the hardest classes available to you and absolutely crush them, because that's just the game you're playing. You don't get extra credit for trying hard. You get credit for trying hard and actually getting the results, and that's just for the top schools out there. But if your goal is to simply get into college, period, focus just simply on the letter grade, right? Mastery over vanity. Your schedule should be strategic, not performative. So pick the path that maximizes results, not stress. Now, if we're being real, most students don't even think strategically about their class. They just follow whatever their counselor recommends or what their friends are taking. But if you're serious about bringing your GPA up, you need to start playing smart, because not every AP class is created equal, and not every teacher is created equal either. There are some AP classes at your school that will completely tank your GPA because the teachers are an absolute nightmare, the tests are impossible, and no one's walking out with an A unless they've got a photographic memory and zero hobbies. But guess what? That's avoidable if you actually do your homework. So ask around, talk to upperclassmen, figure out which classes look rigorous on paper but are actually manageable because the teacher's fair or the content is pretty chill. That's the move you should make, because you get the GPA boost from the AP label itself without the full suffering and challenge. That's called playing the game. That's called optimization. And no, I can't walk into your school and tell you who the best teachers are. That's on you. But if you're even halfway plugged into your school, you probably already know who's who. If you don't, then get connected, because you're leaving easy wins on the table by not asking questions. This is how smart students pull off high GPAs without burning out completely. Most of the time, they're not better than you. They're just more intentional with the classes that they're taking. Now, I already know what some of you guys are thinking. You're gonna tell me, oh, but I already got an upward trend. Look at me, right? Like, yeah, that's great. Seriously, it's better than nothing, right? But let's stop pretending like that's some sort of golden ticket. Here's how colleges really see it. If they've got 2 applicants, one who's been consistent from day one and another who only started trying in junior year, who do you think they're going to pick? Obviously the consistent one, because that student proved they can handle pressure long term. The upward trend kid just proved they finally woke up. And if you were on an admissions committee, you'd probably do the same. Why would a school bet on someone who just started caring when they could choose someone who's been locked in the whole entire time? It's not fair for the kid that tried this whole time just because you were on an upward trend. But all that's to say, upward trend isn't useless. Don't get me wrong. It's the next best thing if you start off rough, because it shows growth, it shows maturity. But let's not glamorize it like it's a better story than the kid who's grinding since day one. It's not. Also, if you're going the upward trend route, just know it's going to hit harder, because now you're taking tougher classes, staying up late, and trying to juggle work habits you've never built earlier, and that's not easy. You'll feel that pressure. But if that's your situation, you've got to own it. You're catching up, not coasting. And you got to know it's better late than never, but don't expect a medal for showing up late to the race. You've got to finish stronger than everyone else just to make up for it. Now, let me be straight up with you. Most students who don't hit a 4.0 aren't lacking the intelligence, the raw brain power. It's not a brain problem, right? It's a focus problem. I've seen so many students who could easily be top of their class, but they're distracted all the time, right? TikTok, YouTube, whatever the games are nowadays, Fortnite, Marvel Rivals or whatever, right? But that's exactly what's eating their GPA. You say you want good grades, but your screen time says otherwise. And listen, I'm not saying you can't ever relax. It's not like I'm perfect, right? But let's stop pretending like your GPA is held back by your IQ. Stop saying that you're not smart enough. It's held back by your habits. If you replace just half the time you scroll with time spent studying or reviewing, you'd be shocked, absolutely shocked of what you're capable of. You're letting entertainment, video games, you're letting video games, something like Fortnite, be the reason why you don't reach your goals. Fortnite, right? Or Marvel Rivals, whatever the hell you're playing, right? You're letting that be the reason why you're not reaching your goals. The question is that a reality that you want to live out? It's up to you. And by the way, for what, right? A new rank in Fortnite, a few hours of temporary dopamine. You want to fix your GPA? Fix your discipline first. And it's not an easy thing that you just do overnight. This is something I struggle with. This is exactly what millions of students struggle with on a day-to-day basis. So I don't blame you, but I don't want you thinking that the reason why you're not getting a 4.0 is because you're stupid, right? You're not. It's because you're distracted. Because once you lock in your focus, the rest becomes mechanical. You don't have to be a genius to pull off straight A's. You just need to act like you give a damn before it's too late. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.